It is my pleasure today, ladies and gentlemen, to inform you that not only is your gameplay about to get a little easier on the leaderboard, but more importantly, cheaters are getting royally, and I mean royally. What am I talking about? Well, right now there's third-party orbs being purchased in the game. If you go to the world chat, you're going to see people obviously botting, selling things like platinum, eternal orbs. They're linking their website. There's a big meme. People call it the Susan Express, okay? So what happens essentially is companies will have a database of stolen credit card information, and then what they will do is log on to somebody's account, use a stolen credit card, purchase the orbs, and then give the account back to the person, and that person will have paid like $1 per $10 spent or something like that, because it's essentially a money laundering scheme. Make no mistake, if you're buying third-party orbs, somewhere somebody is carrying the bag. Why? Just think of it logically, okay? If you were able to just buy gift cards at a cheaper price somewhere else just because they're in another country, the internet exists and gift cards are literally codes, you could just go to a website and purchase it for yourself. You wouldn't need a third-party application to somehow print in a gift card or something on your account. That's not the way it works. There's arguments for, oh, currency conversion. Whoa, it's cheaper currency in other worlds. That's not the way it works either. If it's cheaper currency in other worlds, couldn't you VPN there and then do it? How come somebody else can log in with a cheaper currency on your account and do it, but you can't do it? How does that make any sense? It's a US-based account. They're logging in from Philippines or something. Suddenly it's cheaper. Plus, that's not the way currency conversion works either with these companies. Instead of it just being, oh, it's $50 in the US market, let's make it equivalent $10 US in the other market. That would be drama in and of itself. Why haven't you heard that prices are different in different regions? Because they're not. Okay, so what happens is you have third-party applications acting legit, trying to sell you orbs like somehow they figured out some magical fairy dust out of nowhere. But if you actually think about the way it works, and would Blizzard allow somebody to scrape percentage off of their sales? No, they would not allow that. We know they're trying to make money. You think that they would allow it? Of course they're not allowing it. That's why if you go to Reddit at the moment and you look here, massive payment revoking. People are in debt. So what's happening is they bought eternal orbs with all these stolen credits, etc. That stuff gets refunded back. So essentially the credit card owner is getting their money back because they went to the bank, etc. Blizzard notes this on the transaction. Then Blizzard, or they have a database themselves of stolen credit cards and gave the people long enough to kind of insinuate guilt. So that way they can refund it. I know this has happened in some games, and then be able to press legal action, etc. on these businesses. This is another thing you got to be careful of, okay? If this becomes a large enough issue, Blizzard will also shut down the company, meaning if they shut down the company, they're going to have an access to the database of all the different people who purchased this and shut down those accounts as well. Like, you have to think in the long term with this type of stuff. People who end up doing these, let me in the short term just buy some orbs because it's cheaper, you're going to get boned on the back end. And that's what's happening now, okay? So this is why I always told everyone I know, do not associate with these types of things. No matter how somebody explains it to you, somewhere somebody is carrying the bag that should not be. That's just how money works. There's no magical fairy dust with this, okay? So what's great is people with negative orbs can't do group activities like joining a party, rifts, dungeons, etc. But you can join the battlegrounds. I've heard this across a couple of these posts now. I don't have any clearance on this, whether or not this is true or not. What I can say is that orb purchasing is actually a big problem. It is on every server right now. We have proof of this and on multiple people, multiple servers. And some of the larger whales are in fact doing this. Make no mistake, I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about either. All of these accounts will be removed. These are cheaters. These cheaters will be fixed. And if you are doing this, stop immediately is the only safety net you have, or else your account is gone. Trust me, this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Let me give you an example. I used to play a game called RuneScape, okay? Back in, I forget the exact year. I think it was around 09, 08, somewhere around there. What happened was there was a thing called the wilderness, which you go a certain distance, you can fight other players. Well, it became such an issue with purchasing items in RuneScape with stolen credit cards and selling it to other people, other golden game, etc., that they actually implemented a trade limit and a fighting in the wilderness limit. There was all of these issues that they had to solve, so they literally changed the entire gameplay mechanic around it. Why did they do that? Because they were getting sued from the credit card companies. People like Visa were pressuring them because their consumers were getting screwed and making purchases on their game, enough that Jagex was actually liable for those purchases. Blizzard, while having better lawyers, I'm sure, okay, still absolutely is going to be liable if they continue to allow fraudulent purchases made on their platform. This must be addressed, fixed in its entirety, and it seems like the ball is rolling. So if you're a cheater who's buying third-party orbs, not only do you have zero of my respect and a giant downward thumb for it, but you will lose your account, you will be called out for doing this, and everyone will know.